In today's video, we visit the iceberg before Season 7. Or, like, as close as we can to it. Yo, what is going on, guys? FlipArtz, we're back here on Fortnite, and we're going to be visiting the iceberg just before Season 7 comes up. We are a couple days away before Season 7 drops, and I figured we should try to go and actually visit the iceberg, or at least try to get as close as we can and show you guys what's going on behind the scenes, behind the whole smoke cloud, the whole snow cloud, the storm before it actually comes and hits over onto the Fortnite map. Now, obviously, you can kind of do this in regular game. Like, it's kind of difficult. The whole setup is actually kind of required to only be done in Playground, as well as the little bit of a glitch that is required for this. It's not game breaking, you can't get banned for it or anything like that, so don't worry about it, but the whole thing really just needs to be done in Playground mode. Now, of course, for those of you guys that have been living under a rock for whatever reason in Fortnite and the upcomings for Season 7, let me give you basically the gist of what's going on. Essentially, AIM has come to the Fortnite map. He is the skin that you guys get for free for completing 7 weeks completely of the Hunting Party challenges. And if you guys actually looked back on the Hunting Party challenge number 7 for the background image where we first see AIM, who is on top of Flush Factory doing the whole, you know, robotic thing. He's got the whole, like, hologram type of thing showing up on the map. You can see that he's looking at part of the map as well. You can actually see that when you guys look onto that there is something that's upcoming and coming towards the actual map here for Fortnite, and that happens to be, of course, the iceberg. And of course, with looking through the data mine files from the PC version, because obviously you can't really do that on the console versions, we managed to find out that what we saw from that picture was actually the iceberg that's coming into the map. And of course, if you guys also go over to Fortnite's Twitter account, they have been letting you guys know that obviously something icy is coming, something is going to be freezing over. Now, of course, we don't know right now if the whole map is going to be covered in snow or if just a new portion of the map is going to crash in there and we're going to get a new section, kind of like Paradise Palm, where it used to be Moisty Mire and then they added a little bit extra, or if it's just going to be, you know, an entirely new section. We're gonna have to wait and see. Now, the setup for this really isn't that difficult to do at all. It's actually pretty simple. It's just that doing it in Playground mode is easier, obviously, because you have access to pretty much everything that you need, opposed to trying to do this in a public match where you're not really guaranteed to get everything you want. Now, if you guys look at the southern part of the map, there you guys can actually see behind the balloon here that, you know, there is a giant cloud of snow, or a snow cloud, or a storm, or something that is coming. But if you guys actually look just a little bit to the bottom there, you can actually see, like, there's little, like, you know, ice things kind of floating, little islands over there, platforms, or whatever you call them. I don't know what they're called. But basically, we're going to be heading over there, and behind the actual snow cloud or storm or whatever that is the actual iceberg. And I think that there was some leaks or something like that talking about how there's like a little castle or something like that on top of the actual iceberg itself. So we're going to be seeing all that stuff there in the replay mode. We're not going to actually be able to go and get on top of the actual iceberg or anything like that, but we're going to be able to glitch it out a little bit that we can actually see what's behind the actual storm or the actual snow cloud. So here we've landed on top here. If you guys are in Playground mode and check your map, it's called Challenge Games. So there's a whole bunch of other things over there. You can see the spiky stadiums already set up and whatnot, but we're going to be landing over here, and basically we want to go and hit this and get ourselves a bunch of these chiller traps. Now, you don't exactly need as much as I'm going to be getting here, but if you guys are just worried that you might mess up or something, you guys can definitely go and just get an excess amount from these vending machines right here. Now, with the first step done, which is basically getting your chiller traps, you got to go on to phase number 2, or step number 2, which is to basically just get yourself some mats. So basically what I like to do is land over onto this end here where the RV is, because we also have the quad crasher, which will, you know, essentially let us go and travel fairly quickly. So I'm gonna go and grab some mats from this real quick. And of course, you don't really need too many mats. You just need, you know, a good amount to build it. Of course, again, there is room for error, so you know, just try to get more than you think you're gonna need, because the way that they actually have the iceberg set up, it's actually on an angle. It's not like directly south or directly west. So they were pretty smart about the way that they decided to do this. Alright, so we're here, and we've landed, and you can see that the iceberg is just right down over there. Now, like I was mentioning to you guys, when it comes to actually building, you can see that this is going directly south. If I go this way, it's going directly west. There's no way to go in between, and we kind of need to go around the 195 to 210 direction. So we're gonna have to go and make the platforms go down, and we basically want to keep going until it basically stops us from building any lower, and then from there we'll make a platform. So I think I'm getting fairly close here. Let me just keep doing something like this, and I think, yeah, there we go. So now we have to go and make the actual platform, and we're gonna make this a little bit wide and a little bit long, something like that. I think should be fine. This is also kind of part of the reason why I said to get a little bit more mats than you think you're gonna need, because you don't really know if you're gonna do this on their first try or not. So now after you guys get this built, you want to go and get your ice traps, your chiller traps, get them all set up, and then you kind of want to put them on every other block, or like kind of every other 2 blocks or so. But because you have an excess amount, it really doesn't matter. You know, you really don't need to have them every other block. Like literally you could probably let them be like every 5 blocks or so, because your ice is gonna last. But this is just to, you know, have some insurance to make sure that when you do this, you're not gonna run out at the end. And then we could do something like this, and this. And it's gonna be a little bit rough on the angle, but I think we should still be able to pull it off. And I'm actually gonna put 3 by 3 there just to make sure of this. So to end it off, we're gonna go and put some chillers up here real quick. And then basically what we need to do, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but we need to kind of angle ourselves about southwest. Ish, you know, 210, 209, something like that. And then the last step for this is that we need to make sure that we have our setting on the leave match section here. So basically when we want to go and leave match, we don't have to go and like scroll all the way back down from Epic Friends, you know, because that's basically where it starts off default. So we want to go and have it on default to leave match. So again, when we go off to the last part there, we can just go here, leave match, and then do it very quickly, and then we're gonna be good to go. So essentially how the glitch works is before you actually go and jump off of this platform here, it's gonna register as you not dying, and then because you're leaving the game, your character doesn't have any more data to run off of, and because you didn't die, essentially your character just keeps running straight. So if I do this right, I'll jump on the platform, I'm gonna go down, get the momentum, I'm gonna go here, leave my match before I die, and then it'll register as no death. So hopefully I can do this right. I'm gonna go on the platform here, make sure I got everything going, and then try to go on an angle, but I don't think I'm gonna be quite on an angle, just the way the game mechanics work here, but we're gonna try it. So here we go. Run up on that angle, run up on an angle, there we go, and get ready to leave match. And I think that should be it. I think I did it right. I saw the next set of like chiller traps that I set up, because I know I made like the 3 by 3. So as soon as I saw at least the first one, or I think I was at least on the second one, I left the match, and that way it's gonna register as me not actually dying. Alright, so all we gotta do now is go to our career, go to replays, and there you go. So now all we gotta do is hop into our replay, get to the end point of it just before we get out, and see if it actually worked and we managed to get the glitch going properly. Alright, so here we go. We're about to go over to the storm cloud. And we did it. There you go. So he just hopped off and we are going. So this is kind of what I was talking about, how like, you know, going southwest is the direction that we want it to go. But because of the way that you build and all that stuff, you can't really go on the angle that you want to go on. So it kind of messes up that way. But I guess this is kind of what we got to deal with. It is what it is. I mean, this is going to be as close as we're going to be able to get. You know, I was saying that we weren't going to be able to like actually walk on top of the iceberg. We're not going to be able to go and actually visit it all that much. But we can still see exactly what's behind the actual cloud of snow or smoke or whatever you guys want to call it. But first, what's going to happen here is we're going to be getting past the zone, which is, you know, the stuff that's supposed to damage you. We're about to hit that in a couple of seconds here, I think. You can still see that, you know, we got the purple smoke right over here. I think we're about to pass it. There we go. We just passed it. And then this is actually the thing that we need to pass, this purple smoke. As we continue, we're about to pass it. And then after we pass this, we're going to be able to actually see the iceberg just to our right here. So we're going to keep going. We're getting closer. It looks like we're not moving, but we're moving. We're about to pass right through this, and after that it's clear sailing. There it is. And then now we just got to go look the other way, and there it is. Now from this angle, obviously you're gonna be able to see the iceberg, but when you see it on the other end, because of so much smoke, so much cloud that they put in front of it, you're not actually able to see it. So obviously in a few days this is gonna hit the map. Now I just wonder how this is gonna impact, and you can actually see there's like some kind of castle on there if we pause it right here, but there's a storm cloud right there, the snow cloud or whatever you guys want to call it, covering the whole front end. So I wonder what the cinematic's gonna look like when we get there. And on top you can see what a lot of people have been saying is supposed to be like, it's on a third person mode. You can see it right there. We have the look of what seems to be the castle. Now zoom zooming in on aim because, you know, obviously we're on third-person mode, and you're very limited to what you can do when you go in, like, drone-free mode and stuff like that, so figured I'd kind of leave it like this for now. You know, you can see there's a little bit of detail. You can see all the floating ice platforms and stuff like that. Now, we're definitely right behind it. The whole front of the iceberg, like, it's not, like, rounded off or anything like that. You know, it's completely flat on one end, so I don't know if that's just because they want the storm cloud in front of it, or the snow cloud, and then, you know, when it actually reaches in a couple of days here, something else will happen. We're gonna have to wait and see, but that is the fabled castle just on top of the mountain there, on top of our iceberg. So anyways, I think if we actually go back here, we can go to drone attach, we can kind of move it a little bit, but you can see if I move too far to the right, now I can't actually come back. So we can actually try to zoom in on here, get a little bit of a better view from it, and unfortunately this is literally as close as we're gonna be able to get, which is kind of why you wanted to angle yourself as best as you could to get as close to it as you could, but again, the mechanics in the game just kind of don't let you go on the angle that you want to go on, so it's a little bit unfortunate that way, but nonetheless, this is going to be as best as we can get it to go, and I think if we go one more, we can go drone free, try to get as close as we can here, see if we can maybe move along the coastline here. Now, the problem is if you actually move to the right, like I did earlier, you won't actually be able to come back to the left. Like, even though our character is further this way, if we move away, we can't go back that way, so I think, yeah, we've hit the length of where we're able to go here, and that's as far as we're going to be able to reach. That's literally as good of a picture of the iceberg we're going to be able to get from here. Like, that's really far away. You can actually see a little bit of the textures and stuff on it. You can definitely tell it's snowy. You can definitely tell it's got that icy look along the bottom there. I'm going to see if maybe I can go up from here, maybe get a better view from the top. This is as good as it's going to get from here. Look at all the little platforms. I wonder how these are going to play out though. They look like they have a good bit of height to them, so I don't know if we're really going to be able to navigate on these. Maybe this is just for added effect. You know, maybe it's gonna go and like hit to that Flush Factory, Greasy Grove, and you know, create a new spot for you to go and visit. You know, kind of like Paradise Palms, where it used to be Moisty Mire. They added a little bit more or less there, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, I can actually see that whole section becoming a snow map. You know, you got the desert part over there in the Paradise Palms. We can get a little snow part there from like Greasy Grove, Viking Village, all the way to like Flush Factory. Add a little bit more there, make it kind of like a more complete piece that looks like a little puzzle piece that would definitely go and fill that section there if done properly. Like, again, unfortunately, like, I can't move any forward than this. Like, this is as far as it's gonna let me go. I mean, there you go. Like, that's freaking insane. You know, I just want to see what happens in a couple days here when it actually collides. But again, if like this is something that you guys want to go and try out in playground mode, again, go and try it out. Completely up to you guys. You guys can actually bring your friends in there. You guys can all try to do this glitch together. There it is. I mean, you got all your floating ice little platforms over there, and then you got the actual iceberg right there. But yeah, guys, that's about wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, remember to drop a like, subscribe, guys, haven't already, turn on post notifications here on the channel by hitting that bell icon next to the subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter to stay up to date on everything going on regarding my videos, my channel, my streams, and myself. Thank you guys again for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Arts out.